So, in this video, I want to talk to you about how Meghana, who is a Move Abroad coach, had a 10K sales week this week. Okay, I'm going to share with you the one shift she made within her sales in order to have a 10K week in her coaching business. So, Meghana, she already done the hard part in her business. She actually developed and strengthened her expertise. Her expertise around helping families to move to Portugal, how she did it 6 years ago. Now she's helping families from the US who want to leave US move to Portugal in less than 12 months. She designed her expertise, worked on her expertise for years, and done the hard part. Before she joined Leverage 20, she actually didn't know how to sell. She didn't know how to sell her high ticket offer. And the reason is because you go to college, you have courses where you are learning about the expertise, but you are not learning how to sell your offer. So when you are going and you are studying business, they are teaching you all about management and marketing and how to set smart goals, but they don't teach you how to land your first client. You are actually going out there and you are learning how to be a good lawyer, but in your law study, they don't teach you how to land the first client in order to actually showcase that you are a great lawyer, right? So that's why a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of women of color coaches, they done the hard part with crafting and with having a great expertise that is getting the results to their clients, but they are not learning how to sell their offer. They don't know how to make a bunch of money faster. And it's because you don't know how to lead a sales conversation. Because you are great at your expertise. And because of that, you don't know how to talk to your prospect to actually lead a sales conversation. So selling is not a talent, okay? Selling is not a talent. Selling is a skill. And what is a skill? A skill means it can be acquired by someone who's willing to learn, who's willing to put in the work, who's willing to get the feedback, who is willing to get the coaching in order to learn the skill of closing clients over and over again. And that is what Meghana did. Meghana joined Leverage 20 without having the skill of selling. She had uncomfortable conversations with me inside Leverage 20. She learned how to sell. She did sales calls. She reviewed them. She got coaching. And now she's having a 10K sales week. All with more peace, with more having fun with her family in Portugal. She even recently did a travel to Mallorca. And she continued to actually sell her offer every single day. So what you need to learn, and this is the shift you need to make within your sales, if you want to have 10K week, 20K a month, you want to sell your group offer, is to learn that when you talk more in your sales call, that you are losing the sale. Write this down. When you are talking more than the prospect on a sales conversation, you are automatically losing the sale. Because sales is all about you become a great listener and you know what to ask next in order to uncover what the prospect wants. Okay, so literally you are creating an environment to help the prospect feel like they want to buy from you. You are creating a safe space where you are reducing the perceived risk, where the prospect, where the buyer feels safe enough to say yes to their own transformation. You are creating a safe environment where you are reducing this feeling of, can I do this? Will this work for me? Will I actually have success? Where you are showcasing other case studies, where you are showcasing your proven process to get a yes to their own transformation. That is sales. Selling is simple. You don't have to talk much, okay? You don't need a sales script. What you need to do is you need to become a great listener. Are you a great listener right now? Go back, review your sales call. Are you talking most of the time, or are you letting the prospect talk? Because literally, when you are a great listener and you are asking the right question, the prospect is telling you what they want. And because the prospect is telling you what they want, you are literally having in front of you what you need to sell to them in order to get a buying yes. Selling is not like science. It's not like hoping and wishing. It's literally learning how to listen and ask the right question. Okay? And you can ask simple questions like, okay, so tell me more about what do you need? Literally, that's the simple question you can ask in your next sales call to get a yes from your prospect. Okay? And the reason why it's so difficult, and this used to be Meghana, it was really difficult for her to listen. She jumped on sales calls where people actually booked call with her because they saw her expertise. They saw that they need help. They need her proven process, but they didn't move on with her before joining Leverage 20. It's because she was the talker. She wanted to prove on a sales call her credibility. She wanted to prove what she knows. She wanted to prove that paying $5,000 for a one-on-one offer is worth it. But by doing that, she didn't realize the pattern that she is sabotaging her sales. She was doing that out of being uncomfortable and not knowing how to prove that the value of the offer is there. Right? So that's why she lost all the money on the table, because she was more talky. She wanted to prove that she is good enough, that her offer is good enough, that the price is $5,000, and she wanted to justify it. And that's why most of the sales call before joining Leverage 20 ended up in a no, ended up in getting ghosted, ended up in hearing, I don't need it, or I don't have the money for it, I need to talk to my partner, and then never hear it about the leads ever again. And then she was so frustrated that nothing is moving forward. She's running this business for 4 or 5 years and not hitting the income goals, and even questioning if she should go back to a 9-to-5 job. And now she's experiencing 10K weeks. Why? Because she made this one shift within herself where she already realized that what she's offering is good enough. What she's offering has so much more value to the multicultural families with kids to move to Portugal, and that the proximity that she had to that problem, to that solution that she's now providing, is way more valuable than the $5,000 that her clients are paying to her. Incredible, right? So, one other question, okay? When you are becoming this great listener when it comes to sales, when you are becoming this salesperson who is calling out her prospect on a call, you are calling out these patterns that they are doing, because transformation happens when you are calling your people out, okay? Transformation is happen when you are calling people out. Means that you are okay with having uncomfortable conversations. You have to be okay with that as a salesperson, as a coach, as a marketer. That is literally your job, because growth and change is happening when you are being challenged. Okay, so by becoming this listener and by doing this one shift within herself and in sales, she now gets sales calls where prospects are crying, where prospects are telling her how this is like the conversations they needed, and they are moving to yes. They are moving to say yes to actually become a client in her one-on-one coaching container. So I want you to leave with this. Sales is a skill. It is not a talent which is given by God, and you have this feeling like, I cannot become good at sales. It's not true. Okay? I have coached hundreds of women of color coaches, from shy, introverted, extroverted, not knowing about sales, only like giving, being this good girl in marketing and sales, literally to having 20K months, 10K weeks, having a business where not only are they giving value and coaching the clients and get the transformation to the clients, but also making money, having peace by taking care of their bills and by booking travels for their kids and families. So again, sales is a skill, and it can be acquired by anyone who is willing to do the work, who's willing to get coached, who's willing to get the feedback and implement it again and again and again, because closing the sale is a skill. So I want you to look at where you are. Where is the gap in your business right now? When you are getting a lot of people on a call and you are not closing them, that is the conversion gap. That is telling me as a business coach that in your business, you don't know how to convert the lead. You don't know how to talk on a sales call that is leading to get a yes. That also tells me that you are the talker and not the listener. And sales is all about listening and asking the right question. So I hope you took notes. I hope this episode helped you to see that you are one coaching away from getting the sales in your business, from getting the peace back in your business, from getting the impact you wanted to have. So ask yourself, the cost of not investing right now, how much cost is it actually giving you from in any other areas? Cost in your energy, cost in your peace, cost in your relationship, cost in your business, and in the impact you want to leave. Because at the end of the day, the cost of saying no is always higher than the cost of saying yes to the transformation you want. So with that being said, thank you so much for joining. I wish you a wonderful day, and I talk to you in the next episode. Bye.